much more than a revolt against British taxes and trade. The American Revolution was the first modern revolution. It was the first time in history that a people fought for their independence from a king's rule.
Protests over the Stamp Act and Boston Tea Party have brought more than 3,000 redcoats to Boston. In the spring of 1775, a large group of redcoats were sent to capture rebel supplies near Lexington and Concord. The first shots of the Revolution were fired when colonial Minutemen attempted to stop the British troops on the early morning of April 19th. British troops were forced to retreat to the safety of Boston. On June 17th, colonial and British troops would meet across the Boston Harbor in one of the largest battles of the war, Bunker Hill. The Americans proved that they could stand toe-to-toe with the well-trained British regulars. By March 1776, cannons captured by Benedict Arnold and Ethan Allen at Fort Ticonderoga arrived in Boston. The newly appointed General Washington placed the cannons on Dorchester Heights, and the British evacuated the city, never to return. After recent victories, the Second Congressional Congress voted and signed the Declaration of Independence. Thomas Jefferson's masterpiece, the Revolutionary Document, stated that all men were born with rights, and government's job was to protect those unalienable rights. Washington's young recruits would soon face their strongest test during the battle for New York City. King George had sent more than 20,000 troops and 300 ships to put down this rebellion. Washington and his men were badly defeated, and the inexperienced general barely escaped the city with his depleting army in August 1776. In the finest moment, General Washington on Christmas night 1776 would lead his smaller army across the frozen Delaware River to attack the British at Hessian forces at Trenton and Princeton. His victories would electrify the colony. The British plan to divide the colonies by capturing the Hudson River would be stopped when British General John Burgoyne was surrounded at Saratoga. Benedict Arnold helped lead the American attack and suffer a near-fatal leg wound. American General Horatio Gates would accept the surrender from more than 6,000 British. As news of American victory reached France, Ben Franklin convinced King Louis to join the American side. Marquis de Lafayette would now lead French troops in America. Ships, money, and supplies from our new ally would change the world. Washington was forced to spend a winter of 1777 outside Philadelphia at Valley Forge, Pennsylvania. The weather, disease, and lack of supply led to more than 2,000 deaths. The survivors were trained by Baron von Steuben in European tactics. By spring of 1778, Washington's army of almost 12,000 had become a fighting machine. The final battles of the war would take place in Washington's home state of Virginia. French naval forces occupied British ships near Chesapeake Bay. Washington and a large French force would surround Lord Cornwallis and defeat his army near Yorktown, Virginia in 1778. That's it! War over!